Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're giving our first impressions on a game that Pepper shocked me with.
Yes, you did not know we had this one coming.
I did not.
I had ordered this one from the Game Steward. It is Return to Dark Tower. So yeah, well, in anticipation of this, I had ordered it a year ago, over a year ago, and just been anticipating its arrival. I was kind of new. I had never really ordered anything that came from Kickstarter or know how they can be delayed. So I was like, oh, maybe September of 2021. Then, okay, maybe December. Okay, January for sure. Okay, I ordered it at Game Steward. It's going to be after whoever actually backed it on Kickstarter. So maybe February. Okay, March. March for sure at the latest. Okay, April. And it did finally arrive in April, just in time for my birthday.
There you go.
So,
But yeah, I think you probably took. It was probably the worst time to
Yes.
get into the Kickstarter
Yes.
game. Is kind of I think everything was delayed, so I don't know that it was just this or the.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of delays, and
Yes.
still to this day there's a lot.
Yeah.
That are still delayed from that type of
Yep.
the shipping and stuff. So
Yeah, but Restoration Games got it done.
they got it done, and they got it. Well, the Game Steward got
Yep.
it the rest of the way for you.
They got it done, got it to the Game Steward. Game Steward got it to me.
But yeah, so you were definitely excited about it.
Yeah. So when we did our games that we want to play video, which was late 2021, I had already ordered this, and this would easily have been my number one game at that time for 2020 and on games. This has been my most anticipated game for all of those months. I was thinking, ooh, this is gonna be an all-time contender. I feel just how unique it is. I watched the Dice Tower playthroughs multiple times just to really get to know the game, and I mean those were early drafts of the game, at least in one of the playthroughs. One was more advanced, but yeah, I'd watched those, and I'd kind of done the same thing for like Tapestry before that game and Dwellings of Eldervale, so I just had a similar feel to those, to where those definitely, I was very excited for them, and they did not disappoint, and I would say I was equally excited for this.
I was not excited for this.
Yes.
I will be
I assume.
100% honest. When I saw this one on the Dice Tower, I don't know that I watched.
Gimmick!
Don't know that I watched.
all you thought.
That's all I thought. I thought,
Where's the worker placement?
yeah, I'm like, at that point, I think I had already come around on miniatures a little bit because,
Yeah.
kind of when I first got into it, I really love meeples. I still love meeples,
Yep.
but I was very into the wooden bits, I think,
Oh,
versus
yep.
plastic, and I wasn't ever really like, some of the people that like, oh, I want all these miniatures and all that. I wasn't ever really that into it, but I think at that point I'd kind of come around to that. But when I saw that tower, I was like, okay, that's taking it to the next level of almost just being a toy, and it kind of
Yeah.
makes me think of like I think for CMON they had like the Cthulhu Death May Die.
Oh,
They had a
yeah.
huge Cthulhu
Yeah.
thing, and I think now they've had for Marvel. Whatever campaign it was, Marvel
Marvel
Zombies.
Zombies.
They had
Like
a
the-
huge Galactus
yeah,
or something.
Galactus.
I'm like, okay, that's to the point where it's just more of a toy type looking thing.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
You could definitely have it up and
Yeah.
it looks nice and whatnot, but not quite my taste. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, pass, almost immediately. So yeah, had almost no
Yeah,
interest in this game when you told me about it. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, I had heard you make a few comments about it, and I know that it's not your type of game. But luckily, I knew there's cooperative, so there's a solo mode, and that even if you weren't a big fan, that I would be able to play. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, since I had very similar thoughts on the game, I had mentioned the Cthulhu Death May Die, and you'd gotten that one, and I had a really amazing time with that one. Definitely, I don't know when this video will come out, but check out our top 50 of 2022, and you'll have to see where that one ranks for me. But so knowing that, I was like, well, I will give this one a chance, even though I be 100% honest. I'm like, I have very little interest in this. So that was kind of my thoughts going into our first game of it, or
yeah.
my first game. You had
Yeah.
played some solo.
Yeah, I had played it solo twice, and then we played it a 4-player game. Cookie's throwing up over there on the floor. She's like, "Oh, this game's terrible. I can't stand it. I love wooden meeples." She can't
Takes after her
stand
dad.
it.
She's like, this is Ameritrash.
She's about to go
She's
up the
more of a
stairs
Euro
and leave.
gamer.
But yeah, I had played it 3-4 times now, and I love the game. It has lived up to my expectations. It's just so epic. It's so simple each turn, and it breaks it down so well on your player board. You do your start of turn action. You can do 2 actions in the middle of your turn, and you have movement that you can split. I love that you can split movement. I love any game where you can do that. It's just so freeing. And then you do the end of your turn, you drop a skull in the tower, it triggers the app of different events, which I really love, and it kind of reacts to what you do on the board. So if you're kind of doing this over in this location, it might kind of know that and send some things over there, which I guess you could be like, oh, that's cheap, it's cheating. But I like that it can do that. With the app implementation, and I love the battling in this. That is kind of app driven, and you can upgrade the battle cards, and if you upgrade it enough, you might even get positive things to keep going and battling. The variable player powers, which you guys didn't really upgrade your different virtues for the characters in that game, but I've played with a few different characters and upgraded them somewhat, and they each have very, very unique virtues, which feel different from game to game. Like Michaela kind of has battlements she can put out on the board and give her advantages, and I was gaining potions. It felt different.
Yeah, I liked Michaela's. I don't know how much I liked mine, because I was just getting the 5 soldier things, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how much, like, I thought, oh, Michaela's is really cool that she gets to do that, or either put one out or move it around.
Yep.
But mine, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It got me ready for
You gotta go battling,
sort of. But even when I did battle, sometimes I was like, I didn't have enough to.
And there are different foes that some might be more fitted to use warriors for their battle cards.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Because
my character, I don't know that I probably put the best ones in there to fight against.
Yeah.
I think that was probably part of it.
Yeah.
Because my advantages didn't really work against most of them.
Yeah, so the one that you did fight that did cause you to lose warriors was like a savage level dragon, which had you lose like 40 warriors in one card. So at that time, when you actually faced one that you were probably geared up to fight, you were completely squashed. Not completely squashed. You did defeat it, but
because that made me get rid of the ones that I did actually have, and it still wasn't enough. So, yeah. But no, I agree. I do like the variable stuff, but I felt like in this one, and it was just one play, so take it with a grain of salt. That with more plays, it could be different, but with the goal that we were going for, I guess for me, I mean, I think I do understand sometimes you have to like build up first and whatnot. But to me, I'm just like, we got to get to this next objective. And for me, it was more of like a race to try to do that when I don't know that that's what this game really, what you should do, probably. So I was always saving up those, so I never did buy any of those. Or to upgrade any of those, or to buy any item cards, or to do any of that. So everyone else was kind of doing that, so it was always like...
Well, I had a discount for it, so I thought I better.
Right. Yeah, and you were getting potions because that was your top thing, right?
Yep.
So you were. It's not like you were having to take, because there was an option to get potions, right? I don't know. I think that was the one spot or the one type of building that I didn't ever go by was to get those potions. So I never really got those. I don't know that I got any. I got one potion one time. And I don't even remember how I got that.
I forget.
But yeah, so I had one or something. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I felt like I didn't really accomplish that much, I think.
Yeah, and I think some of the events in the game kind of made you stay in your home kingdom, so that as well. I think that kind of kept everyone separate, and a lot of the objectives were outside of your kingdom,
Right.
except the one near the end.
The main one.
Yeah, the main one, and then another one that we did fail as well.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was in there right before that. So the one that shows up in your kingdom.
Yeah, and
you
then a
failed.
dungeon that finally showed up was in
Oh,
that.
yep.
Like, I
Yeah.
didn't actually even get a chance to even try to go into it
Oh,
because
yeah.
the game, I think it was added to the board at the end of my turn.
Yep.
And then it didn't get around to me again.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We killed the final big bad.
Yes.
So I didn't have a chance to go into that either. So I think that it probably
But you battled quite a bit.
soured my mood on it because
Oh,
also
yeah.
I did battle, but to me, it did not feel satisfying after after I did face that dragon that I think I did end up beating
Yeah,
it or
yeah.
getting through, and I lost all my troops and a lot of my stuff or whatever, and yet I get the same reward as I do if I cleansed or if I what was the other quest which I didn't really have a chance at questing too much, but you get the same reward no matter what if you beat a ferocious dragon, if you beat the level 2, I don't remember what those are called, or if you cleanse the thing.
Yeah.
So I
mean,
think
the
there's just I don't know, to me I just felt like I should get some loot for that or some extra loot, something a little more special. But,
I mean, the
agree.
dragon's not going to act then if he's not around.
What
Because
do
there
you
were a
mean
couple
he's not
times where they would act and cause you to lose certain things if he's in your kingdom
Oh,
or if
yeah.
you're in your current kingdom, which I know I'd kind of snuck out of my kingdom for like one turn, and then the dragon acted, and then I snuck back and avoided that. So I think I've never let foes stay on the board very long. So I don't know how bad it can get if you do just leave them and avoid them and just get things other ways, safer ways. So I can't speak to if it's broken in that way where you can just avoid them. I kind of just go to do it because I want to battle them, and I like battling them, and I can see that.
I do like battling them. I
Yeah.
think that was the thing, as I did like the way that worked.
Yeah.
It just felt like kind of a dud at the end.
Yeah,
Like, I beat this dragon, and then it's just like, nothing.
yeah, yeah.
I think that was where
Yeah.
the disconnect was for me.
Yeah,
Like, I liked the way that, you had the card, you flipped it over, and it's like, you do this, and then you can, decrease the effect of it to, like you said, you could have it be a positive effect. I did really like how that worked, but then I don't know.
yeah.
There's something about it that just didn't feel that exciting.
Yeah, I think the kind of winning a battle can be anticlimactic, possibly, especially with the big bad, where you can kind of just slough 2 cards, gain 2 corruptions if you don't have any at the end.
Right.
So you really only have to get through 3 cards. I think that's probably the biggest thing that could hurt this game is that. And yeah, but still, in my experience, I've not had a problem with it.
And we played a 4-player game of
Yeah,
it, so
yeah.
it might change things too. I guess
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, if it was a 2-player game, if I would have been able to do a little bit more.
Oh, yeah,
Because
probably.
part of the challenge too was keeping my area clear of the skulls.
yeah.
So
So
I was
you
doing
kind of
that. So doing that and fighting those monsters, kind of going back and
Yeah.
forth, which also made me wish that you could do each of those actions once if you could get to them. I wish you
yeah.
could do cleanse and attack and a quest if you could do all of them.
yeah.
Kind of. I don't know if that would actually work out. It'd probably end up making
Yeah.
turns extremely long.
Yes.
Possibly. So I can see why you wouldn't do that, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I would probably give. I'll say this. I was not wanting to play it immediately again. Not saying I don't ever want to play it.
I could sense it. I think you probably liked it the least at the table.
And I'd probably still give it 6.57, and it could maybe go up. I think if I played it 2-player, I could see maybe it'd feel a little bit different because I think 4-player it probably part of it too was that it was a little long in between
yeah.
turns. So then that kind of can bring down the experience too if you feel like everyone else is doing quests or doing these other things, and then you're, I cleared some skulls up.
Yeah.
now I'll go back around to
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Yeah, I would say you did have the least to do. Because even when it came to completing the main objective, which is in your kingdom, you handed everything to me so that I then completed
Because I
it.
had to cleanse.
Yeah,
I couldn't. If I would have waited, then we had
Yeah.
to go around the whole table again.
yeah,
So I pretty much had to hand them. I didn't have to.
yeah,
But it would have cost us a round of turns
yeah,
if you didn't get them, because I
Yeah.
couldn't both cleanse and quest,
yeah,
because my area needed to be clean of those skulls, and then we could complete it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it lived up to my expectations, as high as they were, so I think I can really only give this a 10.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely a fair score for it.
I think it has a lot. I love all... What?
I will say another thing that I was surprised about, and maybe because I didn't follow this one when it was on Kickstarter or anything. Did one of the versions have like minis for the monsters?
Oh, yeah, you can add
Oh,
that on for
okay.
like $60-$70.
Okay, because I was like, okay, they have this huge tower, and it's not an inexpensive game,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I suppose there were different. I guess in my mind I was just imagining that those were the only monsters. I'm like, it was really cardboard tokens when they could have been miniatures. That would have made it give it a little bit more of a feel, because then you have these monsters on the board, and they're just these.
Yeah.
Not saying that's
Yeah.
a bad thing, but when you have that huge tower on
yeah.
the board, to just have cardboard tokens seems like a big downgrade. But
yeah.
I don't know that
Yeah.
I'd pay $60.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be
thought
worth that.
I'd wait at least a little while after playing it, because those tokens also did have the different traits for advantages on them, which
Yeah,
the
that is
minis would
good.
not. So I thought I would probably prefer kind
That's
of
true.
usability.
That's true.
And see after playing if I actually reference that quite a bit, which I think at least I did. I mean, I didn't battle as much as you, but I thought I referenced those tokens quite a bit throughout the game. So I think
that's
I'll
true.
stick with the tokens for now.
Yeah, that's true. It just made me wonder at one point during the game, I'm like, wow, this is an expensive game to only have
yeah.
the cardboard option. I'm like, I'm guessing they probably had options at minis, because usually these types of games
Yeah.
do at
Yes.
some level. I'm like,
Yeah.
it probably costs more. So that
Yes.
was the case. I was just curious, because I was like, seems like they put a lot of effort into this game
Yeah.
to only have those types, especially since your people were minis.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I guess I don't even know where I was. But I love just kind of all the different main goals. We played like one of however many companion cards there were. Each of those can be a main companion and can be a different goal that you're trying to do. Like we had to do 20 spirit and clear out that kingdom. And there's a ton more of those. There's 8 different big bad guys, which kind of affect events throughout the game. Kind of this one had the spore tokens. Then there, like you chose from those cards at the start of the game, the different foes that each have different events. That's just so juicy to me. Kind of all that pick and choose. I want this level 2 foe, this level 3, this level 4, this level 5, this companion. That's just exciting for me. Having all that variability, as well as still being a pretty streamlined when it comes down to a simple turn.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's definitely a lot of variability when you are setting up the game, and then your characters are kind of a little bit different as well.
Yeah.
So I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Return to Dark Tower. Even though we hadn't been there before.
We're going to have to go get the old 80s version or whatever it
I'm
was.
guessing that won't live up to this one, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, those were our first thoughts on that one. I think with the price point, I would definitely recommend if you can find a friend or something
Yes.
that has the game, try it out first. Because, have a little bit of mixed feelings on the game, so see what you think about it. I can definitely see why people like it. Like you said, tons of variability in the setup, and it'll be different every game you play it. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content.